Today we're going to talk about praying mantises. Praying mantises have antennae, they have 2 eyes, they have 3 body parts, they have wings, and they have 6 legs. So, are praying mantises an insect?
So, praying mantises, like I said before, they have 6 legs, right? They have their antenna, they have their eyes, they have 3 body parts. So, with what we know about insects, is a praying mantis an insect? I would say yes. The key defining characteristics, first off, is the 6 legs. That's what the main thing that I always look for. The 2 legs up front, you can see, okay, are often used for grabbing their prey. And then they've got their back legs and their mid legs. Okay, these front ones, they almost look like they have little saws on them, which they'll wait. Okay, they don't actively chase their prey. They just lie in wait and they pretend to be a stick. And then as that prey gets close, they shoot these out and grab it and then put it in their mouth. So that's what these front legs are mainly for. Okay, all of the other things that they have the wings. All right, most of the time when I've seen praying mantises, they're not flying like a bee would, but they use their wings to jump longer distances and kind of guide them down from what I've seen. When we raise them in the garden room, they don't get to be this big. They'll get to be about as big as my finger, okay? And they will spread their wings kind of just when they have to, but it's not a preferred method of transportation. And so the 3 body parts, the wings, the fact they have 6 legs, they lay eggs, right? Because most of us have seen the praying mantis eggs up close. Okay, if you haven't, I have a nice little case here that has a couple of the egg cases down here, you can see. And of course, these egg cases hatched, which is why you can see all the praying mantises in this tank. You can see them on leaves over here in the corner, okay, hanging upside down. You can see them on the back of the tank. You can see them on the cheesecloth. I put cheesecloth on here because we feed them fruit flies. And if the cheesecloth isn't on here, they'll get out of the top of the cage. So that helps make sure that they stay where they're supposed to. Of course, I always find a couple randomly throughout my house. You can see, you can see one right now. Right there. Hello, buddy. The nice thing about mantises is they're not going to bite or sting you. Okay, they're friendly little creatures. They are usually pretty curious. I'll keep this guy on my finger as we talk about them. They will jump. This is a nymph. So a baby praying mantis is called a nymph. So you can see the antenna up there on the top of his head. Okay, he's just hanging out on my finger, totally content. Most of the time they just like to pretend they're a stick and blend in to the tree or the plant that they're on. So you can see him. When they're born, they're going to be that light, translucent beige color. And then as they get older, they turn into this brownish green color. And it helps them camouflage, right? Because they're not living on the ground. They're not living on pink flowers. They're living, these ones especially, are living on shrubbery, right? And so greens. There are different types of mantises. There's a beautiful pink orchid mantis, right? And so that is a pink color because it tends to live in the rainforest where there are a lot more colorful flowers. And so to blend in with those flowers that it likes to live on, it is that color. And so there are spiny mantises. There's all sorts of different mantises. So these ones are just going to be the nice, easy, standard color. Okay, and they will get to be, he starts off, you can see this big, okay, but he's going to grow to be about this big, the size of my finger. And he's going to be about this big really by August. And that's also when he'll start to develop wings to fly with. Right now, he will jump. Okay, this guy will jump from place to place. So he might jump off my finger onto my computer right now. He might jump off the tank into a bush or whatever else, but they're not going to fly. You can see he's just kind of cleaning right now. You can see that front leg up in his mouth, and he is just cleaning. Unfortunately, my computer camera can't quite zoom in, but you can see the silhouette of him, right? He's just hanging out, cleaning that front leg, looking for his next meal probably, which, again, don't worry, it's not going to be your finger, He doesn't eat that kind of meat. Okay, he's going to look for other bugs that are about his size. Little aphids, fruit flies, things like that. Okay, and then as he starts getting bigger, he might graduate to crickets. He'll start eating crickets. He'll probably eat some of his brothers and sisters. Yeah, other mantises. He doesn't really discriminate. He will eat whatever walks in his path that he can grab if he is hungry. Okay, right about now, he's not going to eat a cricket. It's too big for him. So we'll get crickets later on once he gets to be kind of about the size of this little section of my finger. Okay, that's when we'll start feeding him crickets. But again, all these guys are ready to go. They are just hanging out. They're not going to bite or sting you. If you see one in your yard, you can try to handle it gently. It's best usually to just observe because they're so fragile, right? Like I don't pick this guy up and put him on my finger. He climbs on. Because look at those legs. They're so small and so thin that if we really tried to grab him, we'd probably hurt him. So I let him kind of come on me, and then he'll just hang out. Sometimes when they get scared, they play dead. Again, you can see him kind of cleaning that front arm. He's cleaning up his mouth. Maybe he just ate. Maybe there's a brother that's missing that was next to him. So they're very cool little critters to watch. All right, so I've had a couple people ask me, how do I know if my egg has hatched? And you can see here, I'm holding an ootheca in my hand, okay, my fingers, and this one has hatched. And so there's still one nymph. Nymph is what we call the baby praying mantis. There's still one nymph left on that egg sac. Okay, and he's just hanging out. He is pretty tired, right? Once they're born, they're not exactly looking to go eat. They're not going to eat for a couple days. They don't move super far away from their egg once they hatch. So they're kind of just catching their breath, right? But you can see some debris right underneath him. You can see all these white dots. And so I'll kind of turn this a little bit around. Okay, those white dots are a good sign that this egg has hatched. So let's see if I can focus it a little bit more. It's basically like debris coming out of the egg sac right here. So you can see this debris sticking out is a sign that that egg has hatched, right? That's at least what I look for. And sometimes it can be debris that might include some bodies of praying mantises that got stuck or didn't make it out. Okay, some nymphs don't make it all the way out of the egg sac. But also another good thing to kind of look at, okay, is the color of the nymph. So you can see this nymph, right, which is a baby praying mantis. He's pretty yellow and clear. He's kind of a beigeish color. Whereas if I get a nymph that was born last week, this one, you can see that color has changed. And he's more of a dark green. Okay, and so if you're wondering how old some of the nymphs are in your tank, or if you find them outside, the new ones are going to be this yellowish. And then this guy, right, once they get a little bit older, they're going to turn that green. And that helps them camouflage. Because for the most part, they're going to be in plants and bushes and trees. And so they really want to be that color of the foliage around them. But you can see this guy, right? He's got his 6 legs. Oops. Okay, he's got his see how his 2 front legs are kind of up right now? And he's going to crawl all over my finger. You can see his antennas are sitting there. I'll put this guy gently back with the egg. But he is ready to go. And so once they're a couple days old, that is when they start looking for food. So if there is a fruit fly or an aphid on a plant, or even a brother and sister praying mantis, right, if they're hungry, they're going to go ahead and really eat that mantis. And so let's see if I can kind of turn them on the side so you can get a better look at them. There we go. They can kind of hold on sideways, which is a cool thing. But you can see those 2 front legs tucked up under, and that's what he's going to grab his prey with. And then you can see his antenna sticking out. Okay, and a lot of times they'll just sit and wait for something to come along that they can eat. They do not bite or sting. Okay, so if you have them and you put them in your hand, you don't have to worry about them biting you. They're not like a mosquito. They don't have stingers. They're not like a bee. They basically just hang out. and they wait for something to eat. You can see he's cleaning his little appendages right now. Okay, but they're pretty cool little creatures. And so what they're going to do is they're going to look for aphids, and aphids are something that usually we don't want in our garden. They're going to suck the juice out of plants. Okay, so most times we're not super stoked to have aphids in our garden, and these guys will take care of those aphids. They will eat them, and they are delicious. You can see his little mouth moving right now. I think they're kind of cute in their own little way. Okay, but for the most part, they're just going to hang out. It's almost like he's looking at the camera. All right, and they're going to shed their skin. They're going to do that several times. They usually hang upside down to do that. Okay, but throughout their life will go through spring through fall. So we've kept them in captivity before in our garden room at school, and they will live usually until about the end of October. If they're fed, we usually feed them crickets once they get to be older, right? But as you can see, he just kind of crawls and he waits. So they don't move super fast. They will jump sometimes. Let's see if I can kind of flip them over. But they're just a lot of fun to kind of watch and be around. And they'll explore. All right, so that is praying mantises. And so again, if your mantis sac, you can see this guy still hasn't even really moved. I'll kind of get him. This guy's still hanging on to this sac, right? He hasn't moved. Okay, if I put him close enough to this other guy that's a little older, maybe he'll become that guy's lunch. I'm not quite sure. So we're gonna put them both outside, probably in separate areas, so they can keep their distance, and this guy can have a fighting chance, kind of rest for a while on the egg sac. All right, I'm gonna head outside to the garden and put these outside, okay, so they can enjoy some of the beautiful sunshine. All right, see you guys later. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and read My Awesome Summer by P. Mantis. It's written by Paul Meisel, okay, but really it's written from the point of view of P. Mantis. So can you guess who P. Mantis might be? This is P. Mantis on the cover here, okay? And so we're going to go and open it up. It's written like a diary, and so it's from the point of view of Mr. Mantis here as he goes through his summer, all right? My Awesome Summer by P. Mantis. May 17th. I was born today. It's a beautiful, sunny spring day. May 18th. It was so crowded in the egg case. Really, really crowded. Me and around 150 praying mantis brothers and sisters. I don't have any wings yet, so I can't fly. May 19th. It's okay that I can't fly. The bush I was born on has aphids all over it. Yum! Soft and delicious. So you can see these are all the aphids. These are the bugs that mantises eat, which is why gardeners love praying mantises. It says, I'm down here. So here he is snacking on one of the aphids. May 24th. Some big birds landed near me. I did my cool trick pretending to be a stick blowing in the wind. They flew away. He says, uh-oh. June 2nd. All the aphids are gone. I'm hungry, growing so fast. I ate one of my brothers. Okay, maybe two. June 4th. I ate another brother. And one of my sisters, too. I grew again and shed my skin. June 27th. I still don't have wings, so I walk and jump everywhere. I started to explore the neighborhood. A big animal came sniffing around. I did my cool trick again. You can't see me. I'm a stick. Can you guys find him? He's somewhere on the flower pot. There he is. See, he camouflages in because of his color. For Pipsqueak, I've got some sharp teeth. My razor arms are super fast too. A grasshopper hopped next to me. I grabbed him before he could say Jiminy Cricket. So here he is eating that grasshopper. July 17th. I grew some more and shed my skin again. Still can't fly, so more walking, jumping, and exploring. July 19th. I ran into one of my brothers. He tried to eat me, so I ate him. He says, sorry, brother. Oh, man. July 27th. Sometimes I like to hang out upside down, mostly when I shed my skin, but other times for fun. I'm getting pretty big now. Unlike other insects, I can turn my head to see what's behind me. Hello! He's looking at the goat. July 29th. Praying? Yeah, I'm praying. Praying something tasty comes along that thinks I'm a stick. August 2nd. I grew again. I shed my skin again. I hung upside down to get my old skin off. I felt a little naked until my new skin hardened. August 9th. I love summer. Long, hot days, cool nights. I like to hide in the shade and eat bugs near the flowers. I chewed the head off a bee. Not my favorite. Can you find him in this picture? Oh, look, there he is over here. August 15th. Finally, I can fly. I almost got eaten by a bat, landed on a branch, and made like a stick until it flew away. August 25th. I nearly walked into a spider's web. Spiders scare me. This one wanted to eat me. I jumped away as fast as I could. September 5th. I grew again. I shed my skin too. Last one for the summer. I forget. I think it's 8 or 9 times. Now you can notice the change in the leaf color. September 25th. Fall is here. There's a chill in the air. I'm looking for the perfect branch. Not very hungry. I'm moving slowly now. October 14th. I found it. The bush where I was born. I laid eggs and I put foam around them. It hardened and made an egg case. Hundreds of praying mantises will be born in the spring. So you can see here's their egg case. October 17th. I'm going to lie down now and take a long nap. Goodbye. All right, and that is the end of my awesome summer. It has a couple cool facts in the book. So it says a baby praying mantis is called a nymph. So that's what we have right now, are nymphs. It takes 4 to 6 months for a nymph to become an adult. An adult, like P. mantis, can be 4 inches long. It will shed its skin 6 to 10 times when it's growing. The praying mantis has a triangle-shaped head that, like the human head, can swivel on its neck. It is the only insect that can do this. It has 1 ear and 2 large eyes. During the day, it can see objects as far as 50 feet away. That's pretty far. Some praying mantises have wings and can fly. Others do not develop wings. Praying mantises, like P. mantis, the star of this book, have 2 sets of wings. Males are lighter than females and can fly longer distances. And it says, P. mantis would not have been able to defend herself very well from a bat, spider, bird, frog, or lizard that might have wanted to eat her. Praying mantises try to defend themselves with their sharp forearms, or they stand up tall and spread their arms to look bigger. They even make a hissing sound, but against larger, stronger predators, they're pretty defenseless. In colder climates like the one where P. mantis lives, females lay up to 300 eggs. They cover the eggs with foam that becomes a hard, protective egg case called an ootheca. Adult praying mantises don't survive the winter, but their babies hatch in the spring. And then the cycle begins all over again. So you can see here he is kind of standing up. So if you have little nymphs, like the ones that I've shown you, they actually do the same thing. It's pretty cute to watch. They will try to take you on. They will either play dead, okay, if you kind of put your finger out for them to crawl onto gently. Sometimes they play dead, and sometimes they kind of stand up and they almost want to fight you. All right, so you can kind of see this guy here. There he is. But sometimes if I put my finger right in front of him, he might not do it, of course, this time, but he'll stand up and get bigger, like he wants to fight my finger. He's not doing it right now. Okay, you can see I'm not really stuffing it right in his face. If he climbs on it, great. If not, that's totally fine. I will let him be. But this one is a nymph. So he will grow into, or she, will grow into being a larger praying mantis, just like P. mantis in the book, but it will take a couple months, okay? So you can see there's all of his legs, and you can see his two big antennae, or her two big antennae spread out there, okay? And most of the times they are just content to be, they're going to wait for that prey to come by, and then they're going to launch their arms and try to get it. All right, so that is My Awesome Summer by P. Mantis. And so as you're out and exploring yards or parks this summer, think about what little mini beasts live there and what life is like from their point of view, right? Obviously, a dog is a huge creature to them. You are a huge creature, right? You can see this guy's just kind of cleaning. He's hanging out, enjoying life. So think about their life from their point of view. What is their current day like? What scares them? What's fun? What is an interesting thing that they do? Okay? And if you're creative, you can even make your own book written from the point of view of a mini beast. Maybe it's a mantis. Maybe it's a honeybee or an earthworm. Okay, what would their day be like? What would some fun anecdotes or stories be from an average day in the life of? All right, you guys, we'll see you next time.